For Radio Dixie and Radio St. George, this is Dennis Mattinson.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising, the insurrection that put gay rights on the map. The Stonewall Uprising also made possible the music that we will be highlighting on this week's Music 101. Join us for the history and music, won't you?
Music 101, Sunday evenings at 7 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Outdoor furniture to endure the desert climate. Comfort, easy maintenance, custom made for your home. Outdoor Living, located at 735 South Bluff Street in St. George. Outdoor Living offers in-home consultation and design for custom outdoor furniture. Outdoor Living, a proud sponsor of the radio program here at Dixie State University.
Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln is a proud supporter of the sports broadcasts you hear on Radio Dixie 91.3. Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln carries a variety of new and used vehicles at 145 West Hilton Drive in St. George and stgeorgeford.com. Radio Dixie 91.3 wishes to say thank you to Ken Garff St. George Ford Lincoln for their generous sponsorship of the DSU sports broadcasting you hear on Radio Dixie 91.3.
On June 24th through the 27th, now in its 6th year, Girls Go Digital is a computer science and tech camp just for girls. Learn how to hack, design, code, and make things with technology. Any level of interest and experience is welcome. For more information and registration, please go to stem.dixie.edu. Brought to you by Dixie State University.
It's time for you to get the Radio St. George app. It's available on iTunes or Google Play. You can stream audio and video, listen to podcasts, make a request, and so much more. Download the Radio St. George app today. We made it for you. The Radio St. George app on iTunes or Google Play.
Enjoy your weekly constitutional, Saturday mornings at 10 on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
This is KDXI St. George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. Creator of Energy Healing by Design, Nicole Ashton, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life after death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow into their true authentic space. Nicole, with her natural connection to Source, which has remained open since her return, will help you and your family find the frequency of gratitude and patient love that will assist you in awakening your soul's design. We now welcome you to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, and welcome to another amazing show, Live with Nicole, Return to Consciousness. We are actually changing the show to Live with Nicole and April. So we have today April Beti. We're excited to talk about energy. Last week we talked a lot about the Haiti trip and what that energy felt like and looked like and the experience. And so I thought it would be really interesting to talk about the energy of the chakra system, which is the energy fields that go through your body, the energy centers that go through your body, and in kind of said that backwards, but in Sanskrit they're called chakras. So we also are going to be taking callers the second half. We'll do a short meditation, and then we'll take callers. If you have questions about Haiti or about energy work or about what her and I do, you can find me at energyhealingbydesign.com. We also have a couple of announcements to make. We are having another trip to Haiti, and that is sponsored by Hands Healing Hearts, and you can find that information and on handshealinghearts.com or connect with April Beti on Facebook. You can follow us here every Wednesday, Radio St. George 100.3 FM. Ooh, we have a lot of energy coming in. Do you feel that?
Yeah,
I was like, ooh, that just kind of...
That was a lot.
Yeah, I got my body's shaking. So, and you can follow us live with Nicole. So We are also going to have a gathering on next Wednesday, which is the 24th of June, and we are going to hold it at our office, which is 352 West Riverside Drive in St. George, and it's building A12. So that's at 7 o'clock next week.
That will be fun. I hope you guys come out so we could get to know you.
Yeah, and that's 352 East Riverside Drive, A12, St. George. Wow, we do have a lot of energy, so I'm thinking we're going to have callers today, so that will be really amazing. The phones didn't work one week, and then I didn't work with the phones one week, so
today's the day.
Today's the day. Yeah, so the chakra system, I was going to put online underneath the Dropbox what the chakras looked like, the colors, but it won't let you comment a picture. So if anybody else is able to put a picture on there, mine doesn't let me. So I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what the chakra system looks like. It is the energy centers. I learned about chakras different from everybody else probably is I didn't know anything about them until I crossed over. And then I witnessed when I was in the white light and when I moved back through the universe that there was a balance, there was a harmony, and each of these colors, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, they all seem to have a harmonious pattern in the universe. And I knew that when I came back to my body, that somehow that would be useful to me. And when I came back, I realized that is what our body is created in, is these colors and these frequencies. And each one of these centers, each one of these chakras govern an organ or govern cells or govern a major part of your body. And so when you are aligned to that energetics, when you're aligned to that universal life force, then your clarity comes, your disharmonies in your body seems to dissolve, and so that alignment or attunement is very, very important. And also we want to share a little bit of experiencing other people's energy, because and probably maybe talk a little bit about being responsible for your own energy and how it influences others. So off the top of your head, can you think of an experience that you have had that the energy has influenced people around you or you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I can think of a lot. First, I want to say I am so amazed at the knowledge you have with the chakra system, because the stuff I literally will have to study and restudy to retain what you know, and you just know it like the drop of the dime. You just know it like you see it, you know it, and I'm amazed by what you know. It really is.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be able to have that book open to me, because I get to share it. It's like we call upon this energy and this knowledge, and like, it's like, what do you do with it if you can't share it with others and assist them in their higher purpose or whatnot? But thank you.
Yeah. And I'll say one more thing about the chakras. I do love that. It is so true. If one of your chakra systems is blocked or having an issue, it affects certain organs and it affects so many things. And when you're open to this whole chakra system thing, 'cause some people may be listening and think that's kind of weird, or they just might not be familiar with it. So it's good that you're talking about it and sharing what you know, because I truly believe in the chakra system, and I love talking about that stuff. So about the energies. Yeah, recently I've been around a group of people, and if you've ever gotten a compliment, like sometimes you might say, maybe someone listening can relate to this, you might say like, you're embarrassed, and instead of just accepting it like, thank you, you might be like say someone said, you look so beautiful today. You might say, oh, well, I'm having a bad day, or oh, my hair's ugly, or you may like dumb it down or say something negative. And it's like this process. Once you learn how to accept it and be like, thank you. And when someone says thank you, you say, you're welcome. Like when you get comfortable just with something so simple as that, it'll expand to other things. And so I was around a group of people that I got to practice this often. And it was so easy to accept compliments and give them. And when you're in that energy field of gratitude and really a higher vibration, it affects everybody around you, and everybody around you notices it. So if someone's having a bad day, or not even a bad day, let's just say they're negative, and anything you talk about to them is going to turn into a crap show. Are you?
I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Are you going to run over to hang out with them that day? Probably not, because you're like, oh, here comes so-and-so. You better hurry and run in the house. You're going to be out there all day listening to the same crap new day. You know what I mean?
I do.
So if you want to, what you see in someone else, if you don't like it, then don't project that too, if that makes sense.
It's kind of you add it what you focus on gets the attention and gains more of that.
And you could change it. Mm-hmm. Unless somebody told me this. It was actually one of my sisters. I have 4 sisters, and she means it kindly, I'm sure. But she would say, okay, well, April's going to say something like this because she craps out rainbows all day long. But I do try to see the positive because I know what it's like not to.
Right. Oh, I love
Did you want a more specific situation?
You're amazing.
I could say something else.
It's great though that I love how you share so just freely and relatable to so many, because energetics is energy that people don't hold themselves responsible for what they're emanating, and then it's easier to play the victim and say it somebody else is doing it to you, when in fact you're doing it to yourself. And so if you when you look at yourself and realize that you're this transformer, this generator of light, of energy, and that how you feel is going to universal law get around you, and it's also getting around everybody else too. And so I feel like the return to consciousness, that unconditional love and unity, when you are started observing your own reactions and your own actions, then you're actually now in choice. You have a choice of how you get to feel around certain people. And I feel like that also is contagious, just like the poo cloud that you're talking about. You can have one of those that stinks because all over everybody else, and you're just turned into like a poo flinger. So, or you could be a rainbow happy flinger. There's it's your choice. What are you going to fling? And I love that you were able to
I never heard about the flingers. That's a new one.
But what is your cloud getting? I'd rather cloud people with rainbows and happy dust than the opposite.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. But by you bringing in a certain energy, you could change the whole atmosphere of any situation.
Mm-hmm. And really joy. Can. And like right now, I'm just holding it in because I think that we're really funny.
You're so silly.
We both are just having the best time, and that's what it really is about. Joy is the highest frequency, the highest energy that is possible to shift immediately. It is unconditional love in motion. That is joy. So when you step into that space of joy, anything can happen. Miracles happen. And when you go into more of a scientific facts or ideals, let's say ideas, when you go and you're looking at them, the scientists saying, oh my gosh, there is chakras and energy fields. All of a sudden the humans decide, oh my gosh, that's really true now. So I'm encouraging everybody to step outside the box and find out what chakras are and find out what your own energy is and discover you and be like, you know what, you scientists are amazing, but you don't need to tell me I am, because I already know. And when you can step into that, it's a guarantee that joy will be present. So even in the resonance scale of the earth, the scientists have taken different frequencies and what they do. And joy is always one of the highest frequencies of involvement, of intelligence, of even healing. And I've found when in my journeys of thousands of people holding space for them, when I'm in a joyful space, even when we're dealing with some really intense illnesses, I have found that if I go in with at the suffering energy with them, and I am suffering with them, and I'm just band-aiding it, we don't get anywhere. We prolong, or we comfort them into their space to cross over. But when I found that, I'm like, you know what? Hey, let's play cards. Hey, let's do something that brings you joy while you're still here. The clients have been healing, and they have been leaving hospitals, and they've been coming home. So So really try that on. What brings you joy? What energy are you emanating? What are you getting all over people?
That's a good one. I like that.
And then also, what about being responsible for your energy? Not only that, but being, what's the word? Not like picky, but by observing other people's energy, how they're emanating it, and do you really want that in your space?
That's true. Well, one thing I could think of is recently we were at an airport and we were in a room and, the situation was we're going to be in this room a while. So you could get mad, and some people were getting mad. That's their choice. And if you're with people who are going to get mad, you still could stay in a higher energy space and choose a different choice. So what I chose to do was sit on the ground with Kyler, and we started playing slapjack. And, we were just having fun in the middle of, other people could have been frustrated or upset with the situation. So, you still have a choice even if that negativity is going on around you.
Yeah, and I observed that there was like 4 gentlemen sitting above you, and they were grumpy and folding their arms. And then as soon as you started doing that, they were like looking over, wondering what you were doing. And I'm sure they didn't even speak your language, but yet they were like watching how you were playing slapjack, which was really interesting. I think they even picked it up. They were actually, the guy
really?
next to me was taking a picture, like videoing it.
Oh,
They're
really? I didn't even know any of that was going on around me.
So I observed that, and it lightened up that little area, even though we were like sardines in there. But you did.
Cool.
You could feel it emanating, a ripple effect of this is just how it is. We can make it worse or smile and make it better,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't uncontrollable. We couldn't control that energy there, but we could control us. And I feel like that's when you observe and you go into a really I think that's when I practice meditation the most. Like stillness is think of something that creates joy and just like melt into it for a minute so that you don't have to feel that other people's energy. And me being so sensitive, I've had to learn that my whole entire life. And so that's like a moment that you don't really have choice. Obviously, we were in an airport and we were locked up. You couldn't leave. But
there was air in that room, so that was a big plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
No bathroom, but there was air.
Yeah. And so what about when you're with people that you do have choice? Like there's this energy and this frequency. Energy is going to match energy. So that, again, the joy factor is just when you go into a situation and you're like, try to bring something up that makes you feel joy, you'll watch the people around you shift. The most interesting thing sometimes for me is when that person is like, they don't want to shift because they think they have to have permission or a reason, or else they're like, well, I was mad. And they're like, want to own the right to be mad at something. And that is still an energy, though. That's still moods. That's still things that are very controllable unless the ego is going to govern that for you. So
that's true. Have you ever gone over to someone's house and you just want to sit there forever because there's just such a peaceful feeling?
And I have.
Yeah.
And you can bring that anywhere. I think anywhere that you go is really focus on how you want to feel. And situations come, situations go. But ask yourself again, what energy are you emanating? And what energy is moving you when you are like, when you're like declaring the right to stay in a mood that's not comfortable for you? Like, why? What's really pushing you? And it's the ego. The ego shows up. The ego got us through survival days. The ego was much needed, and that energy got us here where we're at, And now that we're the transformation of Earth and each other, people are more are understanding more about connection, and things are shifting, whether people want to admit it or not. But when you look at that shift, and you be a part of it, you're like, okay, the ego was necessary. How can we take that really power behind that ego? It's powerful. It creates you to do some crazy things, some amazing things, some like step out of your box. Sometimes it has all this different energy. So how can we transform that? I want to learn and teach, or I want to teach how to turn that into your shine. Like, how do you shine? Take your light, that positive light that you are, and turn it into shine, but yet use the push the energy, because it's your energy. You can't destroy it. But you can shift it. So like challenge yourself. Like, man, when I'm showing up in this ego, how can I shine it in a positive way?
Well, that would be a great thing for us to talk about later off the air, because I have some good ideas about where to start to teach that. So I was going to make a little note on that. Yeah. What did you say? How to make your shine what?
To transfer that ego energy that is very powerful into your unconditional light, which is the shine, which is your inner light, that shine. So it's like ego to shine. How does you like?
I love it.
Why can't we? Why can't we say, hey, you have an amazing ego that shines, instead of kicks my butt?
Yeah.
So,
well, I have my opinion on where you'd have to start.
Okay.
Do you want my opinion, or do you want me to save it?
We have a few minutes, so yeah, okay. Let's hear it.
My opinion on this would be, it starts within us. We have to love ourselves.
Yep.
That's where I think it starts. And there's a lot that could go with it.
And well, think about that though. That's what you'd be projecting, is that love. Yeah. So self-mastery, self-love is what you get to do, and sit in it. Observe your self-love. Am I really loving myself? And then when you can start projecting that love, then that ego energy, we're going to dissolve the word. As soon as you self-love, that ego goes to your shine. Now you're just like blasting people with love. And how can they not love themselves when you love you so much?
Yeah. You know, when you're in a room of people, I know you do this, and I know someone listening probably does it too. Have you ever been in the room and you just like open your heart in your head and you just like push out like love to people? Mm-hmm. I love doing that. And I used to think that was weird, and now I'm one of those weird ones. But it's a good feeling.
Energy matches energy. So, you know, I guess I don't think weird is a off word anymore. I'm like, yeah.
When someone says, oh, I'm into weird things, I'm like, that's my person.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of weird are you into?
Yeah, or they're crazy. I'm like, what crazy do you match? Mine?
Well, people listening might wonder, how would you teach your children this? And there was a good example that you taught children a few weeks ago, and it started with simple things, the paper plates that you made. That was a happy face and a sad face. And you started by telling them, you could choose to be happy or you could choose to be sad. So sometimes even for us adults, we have to back it up and take it from something basic or tangible where we could like take this step and then just evolve from there. So teaching our children about this stuff is really good too. Or just if you're a grandma like us, or if you're, have kids around you, it's just a great thing to start to teach them too. And you'd be surprised, these little kids, they are amazing. These kids are born with these gifts that amazing, the stuff they do and see.
And even the little ones over there in Haiti that didn't understand didn't understand our speech, and we didn't understand our language or whatnot. They understood the language, and the most amazing thing is this little game that I came up, or this idea. I was so excited, it hit me really, really fast. I made these plates, and when we got over there, their song, these little kids' songs at the orphanage, was "We're happy to see you." Yeah. And I was just started crying because I was like, thank you. There's that intuition, is said this is what, since they had been focusing on the energy of happiness, then they really took to what we were doing. And I loved it.
They did. And then they learned that song, "If you chance to meet a frown, do not let it stay." Yeah. And they loved it. They were quick learners. They learned it really fast.
And we talked about intuition last week, I believe it was. And again, that intuition, that song that we were teaching, the translator happened to have it on his phone. So he or his iPad. So he was able to translate the words that we were singing because it was right there. It's just, again, following your intuition, following your energy. The universe's energy. The universe is conspiring for you all the time. Mm-hmm. And so when you really match that, you really put it out there, surround yourself with amazing people and feel amazing yourself. And when you're sharing that, you see the light in somebody and you see their amazingness, it's because you see it in you. And even though, like you're saying earlier, sometimes you're like, someone gives you a compliment and you're like, no, and you want to pick yourself apart, but you're like, turn that to be like, that person sees that in them. They see in me what they're feeling in them, or that they want to see.
Very true.
And so you're denying them that beauty.
Yeah. And vice versa. always now when I get a compliment, I always say thank you, which is easy. However, then when someone thanks me, I make a point now to say you're welcome. I used to never follow back with you're welcome, but I always do now. It's comfortable.
I'm working on that.
Are you?
Yeah. Sometimes I pick myself apart. I don't know. That's also energy from my lineage. Like watching my family take compliments and they don't. And sometimes I get the opportunity to grow too. And I'm like, whoa, that is not reflecting what I teach.
Yeah.
So energy, how are you showing up? How are you showing up in your everyday doings, your life? And I found out when we were in Haiti that showing up is amazing, but it's also how you show up. It's where your heart is. It's the gratitude in your heart. What are you emanating? Because when I was in Asia, I kind of came home and put two ideas together of the bigger message, I guess, of the non-communication and the breakdown of language. And I really felt that when you don't need any words when your heart is opened up. You don't need to even share a view at all. But when you look at that person in the eye, soul to soul, and they feel that, that's all that matters. And that can actually shift somebody's entire awareness of themselves because they realize they're seen. People want to be seen. They want to know they're enough, and they always have been. And guess what? You are. You earn the right to be here on this beautiful earth, this beautiful energy that you are. How are you showing up?
Have you ever done that thing, maybe someone listening has, where you stand in front of somebody, it could be anyone, someone you know, or a stranger, whatever, your spouse, kid. You stand and you just stare at each other's eyes, and you do it for a long time, and you get past their eyes, and then you start to see in their soul. It's like at first you're like giggling, and it's uncomfortable, but it's pretty cool. You should try it if you haven't. Look into someone's eyes.
Okay, we will be right back with the second half of Return to Consciousness live with Nicole and April.
Next time on The Pulse,
it's not the dirtiest car I've ever seen.
we head to the gas station to get to the bottom of a mystery. Is there something about carpets in cars that makes them so difficult to vacuum? Why doesn't this come up? Our exploration takes us all the way to the factory where these carpets are made.
See all the spools of thread.
The science of everyday things.
The Pulse, Saturday mornings at 11 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Hi, I'm Mark Parrish, owner of your local McDonald's. McDonald's offers $2,500 a year in tuition assistance for Dixie State University students. By working at McDonald's, you'll be paid and can be qualified for an additional $2,500 in tuition assistance. Apply at your local McDonald's. I'm Mark Parrish from your local McDonald's, and we're helping you go to college.
Some of the web stuff you see on Radio Dixie 91.3.com is brought to you by St. George Design, specializing in web design, custom graphic design, and print media. Give your business what it deserves. A great website with a great design. A proud sponsor of Radio Dixie and Radio St. George. stgeorgedesign.com.
This is Nicole Ashton from Energy Healing by Design. Join me Wednesdays at 4 o'clock for Return to Consciousness, where I will help you connect to purposeful living, self-love, and oneness. Return to Consciousness Wednesdays at 4 o'clock on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Made possible by the College of Business and Communication at Dixie State University. Radio St. George at 100.3 FM.
You're listening to Radio St. George 100.3 FM. We now welcome you back to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello and welcome back to Return to Consciousness live with Nicole and April. I'm really excited that we are going to be joining forces. April and I, I'm energyhealingbydesign.com and she is handshealinghearts.com. And we'll just be working, kind of doing the emerging stuff and letting you guys know as it unfolds, which is so exciting because the radio station also, this radio show that we're doing, it's spirit guided. We never really know what's going to go on. We're like, hey, let's have a subject, but we kind of go all over the place. And I'm so grateful that our followers are just understanding that they're picking up what they need. Some stuff you'll totally understand, some you just will not, but that is okay because whatever it is that you need at that time, you'll get. And also we're going to do a meditation. We're going to do a short meditation, and you can listen to this at any time. Energy has no time or distance. It does not. It is not linear time, I guess, and so it will find you in the perfect timing. So if you're driving a car, I would suggest that you listen to this later and just kind of observe what colors we're bringing in. And what happens when I do a meditation is I connect us to what's above and what's below, and we bring in whatever is coming through. So I share as I'm seeing it. Today is a really exciting energy. I don't know if it's because of the moon or because we're amazing. That could be or both. I'm not sure. Let's just say both. Pretty much, everyone's amazing.
Everybody's amazing.
Yes. I want you to feel that amazingness open up in your heart because you deserve it.
Yeah. I have a song I always sing to my grandkids. I made it up. It's who is amazing. Then I'll say their names like Jackson is amazing. And then he'll pick someone and we go through a whole thing.
Do that. You guys, I encourage everybody in their house or in the morning, do that in the mirror. Like why I feel like people when you go into adulthood, you think you can't have fun anymore. And we were talking about the first half, to live in joy. Well, stuff like that's fun and silly, and you don't have to have permission. And you can be grumpy one minute and happy the next. It's okay. You know, there's all this stuff that I watch people go through every day. It's like, you have to have a permission, or you have to have like a reason to be happy and permission to not be, to come out of the state that you're in your mood or grumpiness. So let's focus on living in joy and being okay with that.
I had 10 things to share about what is weakening your life energy. I could do it after or before the meditation. It's up to you.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's share it now.
So we were speaking about energy if you missed the first half, and there were 10 things that I had wanted to share that will weaken your life energy. Too much alcohol, poor diet, lack of exercise, drugs, tobacco, negative habits, stress, poor breathing, negative psychic activity. So I just wanted to share those. So maybe you could take an inward look and be like, oh, maybe I could cut out this or I could switch this for that.
Yeah. So later on, we can't do it right now because it's really hard for us to do the Facebook and do the live stuff. But if you revisit it on Live with Nicole, and pretty soon we'll change that to Live with Nicole and April. But April will list those, if that's okay, in the comments. And then you guys will have the opportunity to see what the collective, because I believe that's just data over.
It is.
Oh, and so we'll put that there. Also, we can put, what I was going to put is the chakra system. Yeah. So again, we can't, for some reason, it's not letting us do it on this, on the Radio St. George, but Live with Nicole, I'm pretty sure you can. And if not, we'll just put it up on the page so that you can have an idea of what we're talking about, because energy is everything. Energy is everywhere. We're created in this universal love. And that energy of love is what we come here to remember. And so you grow up and you kind of move away from the idea of the understanding, and you have a whole bunch of different ideas of what love is. But when you completely connect to that heart space, you remember where you came from and how exciting and how full of love and how full of light. And then you're like, oh my gosh, guess what? My purpose is to be here in love with me, and then hopefully find somebody to share that with. And if not, then you have that completion of soul of yourself, you know. And then it will expand and expand and expand until the collective has no choice but just to be in love. So we're going to let's do the meditation on that heart space. Do you have anything else to share while you're on that?
No, I'm going to do the meditation.
Okay. So we're going to invite you to sit back and relax. Really open your mind, body, and soul up to higher vibrations, a new understanding of light. Remember that light is energy. Light is intelligence. And your body is created in biophotons, which is little lights. Billions of them. Trillions of them, actually. And as you drop into your heart space, this beautiful light, this diamond white light, right in the middle of your chest, imagine this ball of beauty turning clockwise in this amazing flow, this abundance of love. Create a feeling within inside yourself of inner joy, inner truth, as it expands, as your soulful self expands through the entire chest. Everything you've ever sought, all the truth you've ever desired is right here. And as it moves up through the top of your head and down through your body, you're going to just feel this sensation of liquid light circling through each one of your chakras, your energy centers, going from the top of your head all the way down to your torso, hip to hip. You're just going to sense this connection. Now imagine this most beautiful light above your head. This white light full of gold, full of the rainbow spectrum as it moves down through the top of your head. Feel that merging of the diamonds, the light. Use your imagination to bring this light alive. You're created in a spark of light, unconditional love, and in greatness. And you can call upon that any time. And now, as the energy is moving from the top of your head down into Mother Earth, imagine heaven and earth merging right in that heart space, the white diamond flame. Bring in any crystal information. Like imagine this light is moving up from the ground. You have access to all things. Feel yourself immersed with the white light. And anything that comes up for you that has the idea of suffering, breathe into that. Breathe the light into that and breathe it out. It does not serve you any longer. And as you breathe that diamond white light in, you feel that you have the control. That wheel of light, W-H-E-E-L, that wheel of light is within you. Your thoughts, your heart, your energy frequency can guide this. And as that moves up and down your body, and you bring a really simple love, a really simple design, you start clearing and cleansing each one of those energy centers. There's 7 of them. And they move to each part of your body. They govern those organs and glands and cells, and you just witness them dissolving and the white light moving into those empty spaces. And this process, this cycle of healing, this cycle of wholeness is just going to accelerate and accelerate and accelerate as you allow it. This transformation is up to you, and you have control. You have choice. When you observe your body and you ask your body, what do you need? Where does this light go? You will feel an expansion within inside of your body that is limitless. Be there with that. Bring back your choice of unconditional love and the immaculate choice of being healed, of being whole, and being happy just where you're at right now. Take a deep breath in. Imagine this tree branch moving up your legs and is being completely grounded into Mother Earth, and watch these tree branches move out of your body and blossom and bring that sunshine in, feel the ground, use your imagination. Maybe you want to stand in some ocean water, stand on the grass. And wow, open your eyes and be delighted that you are breathing. Be delighted that you're alive. Be in knowing that you deserve to be here because you earned it before you came. Now stand in that power. Honor your space because I honor it. And you are loved and you are supported. And all you have to do is move into this space, close your eyes, and remember, you are amazing. There we go. So we'll move back into our space and I think we're going to take callers. I think they might be working and I might know how to work the phones, but we'll see. So if you are wanting to, if you have a healing question, if you have questions for April or I, or a healing story, go ahead and give us a call at 435-879-4100. Again, that's 435-879-4100. If not, we're just going to observe that green drink. Wow. I was just going to talk to you about that, but we can talk to you about it on air because the green drinks you drink every morning, they bring an energy, right? Isn't it live vegetables have some kind of energy?
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually not drinking a green drink. And thank you for your meditation. I selfishly hogged that right up and loved it.
Oh, no, it's for all of you.
My daughter watched it once. She's like, Mom, why'd you close your eyes on air? I'm like, because I enjoyed that. I took that meditation right in. I have no problem with that.
Generally, most people close their eyes. I do see the energy without my eyes closed, so I'm able to watch through you. You know what? I love this because while I'm channeling the energy and I'm seeing it, I can see what it's doing to you. So it also helps me to like know what to say because you are feeling it like other people would. I'm seeing it because I know I have to I get the opportunity to share the message of what's coming, but then I get to see what it's doing to you. So thank you.
Yeah, I love it. It's good. Yeah. What do you want to know? Oh, about the green drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I try to drink one every morning because it's a higher vibration food. And so if I want to start my day out with junk, I'm going to get junk that day. And if I want to start out good, then I put something good in there. I usually I make it simple, just like water, frozen berries, frozen banana, mixed greens. And I just blend it in a blender and drink it.
So I heard that when you have freshly cut vegetables, that they have a higher like oxygen level or something that I'm not sure of it, but
you probably know the scientific stuff way better than I.
Well, this one day, mine's all experimental actually, but so I got a red pepper. And I'm like, I swear I feel the oxygen and the life in this red pepper. So I cut the bottom off. I'm like. And I was breathing it in, and my son's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, doesn't this make you feel alive? He's like, no, what are you doing? I'm not even going to try it because of what you look like.
Yeah, you could do that. I know.
Let's try it.
My kids laugh at me because I'll drink the moon. Because I just look at it and I pretend it's filling me up. Why not?
Yes. I feel like that. People don't, they forget to have fun. Like they'll sense and feel and know these things, but they're not going to share it. And for you and I found we share.
Yeah. When you started the meditation, I had to like pay attention for a minute because I couldn't stop thinking, I want to go play at the playground. I know I'm a grown adult.
I know.
But I just want to go on the slide or go on the swings. I just want to go play.
I know. I feel like that adults should have a couple of days a month at least. Try a week, but to go do something that is just completely not, adulting is hard and people, if you think you need permission to go have fun, then hey, we give you permission.
Yeah, you could go play.
Yeah,
I'll play with you.
Mm-hmm. And I found that with my clients, they're air quotes stuck in where they're at, and they're not having fun anymore, and it's like getting them to the choice that it is okay to, like they think their spouse has to be okay with what they do. And, I've found with spouses, there's really good idea of maybe writing down, because people are going through such energy shifts right now, especially couples, and write down like your favorite vacation, both of you. What is your favorite vacation? What is it that you want to do? And then do it together. Because you're having these boys trips, these girls trips, and in the long run, 5 and 7 years, I'm finding that's not working anymore. You've grown more apart than grown together. So write down and go do them together.
Do you know what I heard? That psychologically you could plan a trip and you do all the details and you don't even take the trip, but your mind had such fulfillment just from planning a trip and not even taking it. I don't know where I saw that at, but there's something behind just like planning it and putting all the details together.
Well, that would make sense because when I recognize, like, this is out there for most of you, but people that know me will understand as best they can. But the DNA activations and light coding that I've mastered since I've been back in my experience in the light. Well, when I watch DNA, I recognize when people share, they're like, Nicole, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I went to this past life and I did this and I did this, and they're telling me all this amazing things. They're like, but I don't know if it's real. Right before they said I don't know if it was real, their DNA was upgrading. Their DNA was remembering something amazing. And so it was like, oh my gosh, I have this excitement to live. This your body wants to, because we as this magnificent benevolent being want to expand. We want to, but learned beliefs say we can't because you're limited in that. Since you're in that physical, you have to stay where you're at. Well, that's not true at all. And so when I watch people say their it's imagination, okay, magic, whatever you want to call it, but when they're living in that and they're excited to share it, they're literally bridging. They're called codons in your DNA. So you have 12 helixes. We only use two of the helixes right now. The other one they call junk, but it's really not. And when you repair your codons in there, then you start to go into you start to heal. When we used to do that in the old days. So
wow,
codons, and that's information that when you completion of certain things and literally the imaginary part of you, things that you vision that create amazing space. They have had been in your awareness at some time because the human's brains can't just make up something that it never saw.
Wow, that's amazing.
And when we was working with kids with nightmares too, I'm like, you know what? Oh. That means that they've seen that somewhere. And then when I died, and I got to see some of that the stuff that isn't all that pleasant. There's definitely two parts to everything, but when you focus, like we're talking about energy, your energy focuses on those beautiful, bright things. This lady was Egypt, and so I think maybe you were. She was. I think that it was similar to that lady that was at the gathering when her and her husband had an amazing experience, and they actually grew together by living had a memory that was so similar that it actually right there in front of us, all of us, it just shifted everybody. And so in your own body, you can do that. And that's an energy that you have control of. That's when I'm telling you, when you have your own information, you then turn to choice. And it all is about observing where you're at. Wow. Someone's connecting to us. Her and I are staring at each other.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah.
Last week before, we went on a total blank out. So we should have like a pre-warning on the show.
I don't know who that is connecting.
I
feel it though. It's like a triangle.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And I feel like it's a back pain. I feel like we can just do a clearing right now. So how that works, we'll just share how I would work with them if they dare call. Some people don't. They'll email me later, or they'll go on the Return to Consciousness page that I have for people that understand like coding and things like that. If you are into that, you can. If you understand like coding, DNA activations, and would like to learn more about healing, you can go on Facebook to Return to Consciousness, Home for Awakened Souls. However, this person with the back pain, it's right in mid-back to the left. Is it yours?
That's weird, but when you're saying it, I just was following that part in my back.
Okay, it might be yours.
Maybe. I didn't even notice it. Go ahead.
Okay, so how I would work is the light we were working with before that's connected to above, which is your intelligence, because you're the only one that knows how to heal you, and I've mastered directing it, because there's always that part in there that you don't know how. That's it. People don't know how because they've moved away from that. So I'm mirroring the white light moving down the top of your head, and we move right down to that part of your body. And there's several, so whoever's listening, Okay, so you witness that white light moving around and you turn it into the diamond. You're going to turn it into a diamond. Others might turn it into purple, pink, and one that has blue. You're using the diamond flame today, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're just going to move it around that. And then you're going to witness it move out the back of your spine and dissolve into a phoenix because you want to be responsible for your energy. You don't want flinging it anywhere because you don't want someone else to get the back pain. So put it into a red ball, a phoenix. It burns it, reverses it, and brings it back to your body.
Why'd you sniff? Do you flick it sometimes? Not your sniff. No, I've seen you and your mom before when you're clearing someone or doing something. I've seen you do this like flick.
So energy is commanded. That's why they have the altering current. They have the direct current. They have the so when I can feel something and it's not mine, then I want to brush it off. When I need to bring down a certain frequency, 3 is like really good. I'm like, put the color in my head and I call it with 3 snaps. That's friction. It's gonna. So sometimes energy is floating around your head and you're like, I need you.
Really? So you flick it to get it?
Yeah.
Put
a color in your head.
Okay, got it.
Now grab it. Feel it in your hand. It's in your body now, huh? Before it was outside of you. Is it in your body? Do you feel it?
Yeah. I felt my feet.
Yep.
Got hot.
Yeah, it did.
I picked red.
Go to your feet because you're grounded. But you feel that's bringing your energy in. And these are things I've just learned working with people because I'm a Reiki master and biotherapeutics and I've done all this stuff that I don't understand, but I understand it's tools for other people. So I've taken what I've learned from clients, though, what has worked from clients, because frequency, energy, is so different in everybody that will give you if you're on and off too, because you're going to do that and you can feel it in your hand. So you're like, hey, is red what April needs? And I can feel if it comes to my hand or not.
That's so cool.
And you don't need it anymore, but you need purple. So that's funny because that's your grounding and your connection. So we're really, really super excited to have these conversations, and we can teach, and we're going to teach and learn so much more from each other. And we're growing on this station. I know that this is just like the beginning of greatness. We're already great, but this is the of expansion, and we understand that this is new to most people. So if you have questions, comment. I know that around the world we do have viewers, and people are taking this off of Podbean, and we have a lot of people that have called and said they don't dare ask questions online. So next week we'll go ahead and read some of those questions and answer them. I didn't realize it was so scary to call in, and then again, our people around the world are not on the same time as we are. So keep following because we'll definitely have more information for you. And you always can find me at energyhealingbydesign.com, and you can find April at handshealinghearts.com, and as well as Facebook. We both have Nicole Ashton and April Beti, and then we'll be here each week. Do you have anything else to share?
Well, you could always call in and say, I have a friend who has this going on or something like that. So you could, call and say it like that if you're uncomfortable.
And we also will
we'll keep it anonymous.
Yeah, and we're taking healing stories. So if you have a story about healing, please share. And again, we're going to Haiti in November. We're having our gathering next week at 7 o'clock at 352 East Riverside Drive, A12 in St. George. And we are very excited to see you next week.
You've been listening to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole Ashton, creator of Energy Healing by Design, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life-after-death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow in their true authentic space. For audio and or video of this, go to Facebook or YouTube, Podbean or Spotify, and search Radio St. George or radiostgeorge.com. We invite you back next Wednesday at 4 o'clock for Return to Consciousness with Nicole Ashton on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.